Last year, the Detroit Lions easily won the NFC North Division. However, though, them crazy Bears fans are already claiming that they're going to win it for the 2024 season. We're going to talk about how absolutely insane that thought process is. Stay tuned, folks.
What are we? What makes us what we are and what we're going to be? It's grit. It's what we started with last year, guys. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Can definitely compete with the big dogs.
10-5 end zone touchdown Detroit Lions.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, all Lions fans, and welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and as always, we're diving on in. So, this is going to be a fun episode for me. This is going to be one of those episodes I'm absolutely going to revel in. I'm absolutely going to enjoy making, because I'm going to tell you this right now. When it comes to fans, we can be extremely defensive. We can be extremely territorial about our teams. We can get very proud. We can get boastful about our team at the merest drop of a hat. Now, I'm going to just say this. The word fan, it comes from the root word of fanatic. And while I know exactly what that word means, and most people do as well, there is a point where being a fan can be taken just to the sheer point of absolute ridiculous insanity. Like, I get it. Being a fan for a team, a fanatic, you're definitely going to, for the most part, not necessarily see reason in most situations. But there's a point where this just becomes, like I said, ridiculous. When it comes to the NFC North, there are obviously 4 teams in that division. There's the Bears, there's the Lions, there's the Packers, and the Vikings. And I'm just going to simply put it this way. When it comes to that division, the one set of fans that is absolutely the most arrogant, by far and in large, is the Packers. And, again, let's just put it out there for the reason that it is. The Packers fans are that arrogant. They're the reason that they are is because the Packers have won the division for so many years over the last, 20-something years, 30-something years. Like, they've dominated winning that division. I hate to say it, but it be the facts. However, while the Packers are arrogant because of that reason, they at least have a reason as to why they have that arrogance. I mean, when you win that much, you're definitely going to be arrogant. You're definitely going to be smug. And it definitely is annoying. But the one team that simply is the most insufferable of all the division rivals is the Bears. I mean, I'm going to say this right now. I detest the Packers. I detest them with a passion. But the Bears fans, they are the most insufferable fans of the entire division rivals. And the reason why, and I swear to the good Lord above, the reason why is because they think that they're so good, but yet there's nothing about them that they have that makes any sense. The best way I can look at it is that when God made Bears fans, He gave them only a half serving of sense and 2 servings of vanity. Because Bears fans every single year will always say the same damn thing. Oh, we're the monsters of the Midway, and we're going to take the North. Oh, and it's like, okay, back the hell up, time out. And for me, what makes it already ridiculous this year is that they're saying it already, and I swear, it is the most ridiculous and annoying statement possible, especially in regards to this year. And let's understand something. Bears fans have definitely had their moments of saying ridiculous, nonsensical things. But why is it that this year is very, very cumbersome to Lions fans? Why is it having such a cumbersome effect to Lions fans? Because I know I'm not the only Lions fan that whenever I hear a Bears fan say, oh, we're going to win the North, it's like, dude, shut the hell up. I'm sorry. It's just like, I get so tired of hearing it from these Bears fans, but why is it so cumbersome this year? Why is it such an annoyance this year? Well, first and foremost, let's consider the fact that, like I said, the Lions by far were easily the best team in the NFC North last year. Like, it wasn't even close. We definitely won the NFC North for a definitive reason. We were the best team. And it was plainly obvious when we were out on the field against almost every opponent that we played against. We were usually dominating opponents, or we were clearly better than teams when it got down to crunch time. Whereas the Bears, on the other hand, with the Vikings, were in the bottom of the NFC North division. They were in the basement. However, though, the Vikings were in the basement because they lost their quarterback, Kirk Cousins. When they had Kirk Cousins, they actually had a decent chance of winning games. When they lost him, they were done. The freaking Bears, on the other hand, they had no such excuse. They just were, well, the Bears. But like I said, this is where the ridiculous statements for the Bears start to go completely off the rails about how, oh, well, we're going to win the North, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And the reason for their smugness, the reason for their vanity is because they believe that because they drafted Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, that along with that and all of the other offensive talent that they currently have, that's going to be enough to get them the division crown this year. And I'm sorry, while you might have gotten all that talent, that's just fantastical wishing, in my opinion. And it's not just even that, it's just sheer damn lunacy. Because let's take a look at this for really what it is. First, the idea that Caleb Williams is somehow going to lead the Bears to the division crown is just simply almost astronomically damn near impossible, based upon past history and trends. Because first and foremost, I've talked about this in the past, but let's just take a look at the success rate of quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks, when they first get into the NFL. It is one of the most hardest positions to learn. It is one of the most hardest positions to have a successful transition to from the NCAA to the NFL. Well, I decided to take a look at the last 10 years of rookie quarterbacks. So going all the way back to 2013 because, well, 2024 hasn't done anything just yet. So I said, okay, how many rookie quarterbacks have been drafted in the first round since 2013? There have been a grand total of 33 quarterbacks that have been drafted in the first round. I then told myself, okay, let's just average out what a normal quarterback nowadays usually puts up when it comes to stats. And I think that if I'm guesstimating correctly, I would consider these numbers the standard for what most quarterbacks will get. About 4,000 yards. The reason I say that is because almost half of the starters last year finished near or above this mark. About 25 touchdowns. That averages out to about 1.5 touchdowns a game, meaning one game you might have one touchdown, one game you might have two. 65 completion percentage rate. Again, half of the starters in the NFL got that mark. And then about a 95 passer rating. Because again, almost half of the starters in the league finished near or above that. So I'm like, okay, if that's what nearly half of the starters are doing as far as quarterbacks are concerned, I would consider that the standard. I would consider those average numbers. So I said, okay, based upon that, let's take a look at that baseline of stats and let's see how many rookie quarterbacks since 2013 were able to either get one of those averages or if any of them were actually able to match or get better than the averages for all four of them. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you take a look at all 33 first-round quarterbacks, which I did, and trust me, it took me some time to find all this, but I found out this is actually rather interesting information because I already knew that when it comes to first-round quarterbacks trying to have a successful transition into the first year of the NFL, it's very difficult. But just trying to be an average quarterback in terms of statistical production, oh good Lord. Out of the 33 first-round quarterbacks since 2013, only one of them was actually able to break all of the averages that I mentioned. The only one that did it was Justin Herbert. And out of those 33 quarterbacks, only 6 of the quarterbacks even had one stat that let me rephrase this, had one stat or more that they were able to match or beat in terms of the single average stats. So I'm talking about whether it's the 4,000 yards, whether it's the 95 passer rating, whether it's the 25 touchdown passes, or whether it's the 65 completion percentage rate. So think about that. There was only one quarterback that was actually able to break all 4 of those in Justin Herbert. And then there was only 6 quarterbacks that were able to match or beat one of those singular stats. That right there means that in the last 10 years, only 3% of all quarterbacks were able to meet all of the averages, and only 18% of those quarterbacks were even able to register one or more of those averages that they met or broke. That's ridiculously bad. That right there ought to tell you in more ways than I can possibly express how damn difficult it is to be successful as a rookie quarterback. Oh, and let's just put this out there as well. Apart from Mac Jones and C.J. Stroud, of those quarterbacks over the last 33 years, no other rookie quarterback has been able to make it to the playoffs in their first year. And apart from C.J. Stroud, none of them have been able to win a playoff game in their rookie year. Again, very damn difficult to win and be successful as a rookie quarterback. Now, I know that Bears fans are going to instantly try and cry unfair and say, well, you can't expect a rookie quarterback to be able to play like a seasoned vet and put up those numbers. But I just proved that one actually did, and that's Justin Herbert. And yet, how many Bears fans have said that Caleb Williams is going to be the next great thing, the next big thing, blah, 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 like he is the next coming of, whatever. But also, let's understand this. If that's unfair, let me just put this question to you. Why is it that the expectation for rookie quarterbacks is becoming more and more like that? Because you have to think about it. The way it is getting is that as soon as a rookie quarterback is drafted in the first round, the expectation that, hey, they're supposed to be the guy as soon as they come in, and they are expected to perform. You can't call it unfair when all the quarterbacks are held to the exact same standard. And if you are the starter, you are expected to, at the very least, play at an average level as a bare minimum. Otherwise, you're not going to be the starter for very long. Or sometimes it might not even be enough for you to be the starter. So I'm just going to simply say this. Again, it is very, very difficult for quarterbacks in general to match the standard. But for rookie quarterbacks, it is extremely difficult. Now, I know some others are going to say, well, if Stroud can do it, well, then, Caleb Williams can certainly do it because C.J. Stroud last year was very good, made it to the playoffs, won a playoff game. So if Stroud can do it, Caleb Williams can do it. Okay, let's also understand this here. C.J. Stroud is in the AFC South. The AFC South is nowhere on the same competition level as the NFC North is right now. It's not even close. In the AFC South, you have the Texans, you have the Colts, you have the Jaguars, and I'm trying to remember what the other team is. The Titans, sorry. That's not anywhere close to what's going on in the NFC North. The NFC North is much more competitive right now than the AFC South. So C.J. Stroud had a much easier time winning that division than the Lions had winning their division in the NFC North. But I also know that Bears fans are going to say, well, it's not just the fact that we got Caleb Williams. It's also the fact that we have all the weapons that he has around him. We got DJ Moore. We have Keenan Allen. We have Romeo Donze. We got DeAndre Swift. We've got Cole Kmet. We've got all of these weapons. And all of that paired with Caleb Williams is going to make this offense unstoppable. Okay, sure. Fair point, I suppose, but I would be more likely to agree with you, Bears fans, if you'd actually done anything to address your damn offensive line. Because let's understand something here. The Bears' offensive line is virtually almost the exact same as it was last year. Because if you go to the free agency period, they had virtually almost no major additions. None. And then if you take a look at the draft, they drafted one offensive lineman, but it was it was their third pick out of 4 that they had in the total draft, or 5, whatever the thunder it was. Again, rather than investing in protecting their new franchise quarterback, they decided, let's go out and get him another weapon rather than getting him some more offensive line help. Think about this, folks. Last year, Justin Fields, the quarterback that they just, completely disregarded and traded away to the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers for a 6th-round draft pick, he was the 5th highest sacked quarterback in the NFL with 44 sacks. Justin Fields was considered one of the most athletic quarterbacks when he was playing with the Bears. Still is. He just probably ain't going to see the field a whole lot anymore. Ran a 4.440. Actually, it was a 4.44 40. Anyway, Caleb Williams didn't run his 40 at the combine, but it was reported that when he was at his pro day that he ran a 4.57. So tell me this, Bears fans. Tell me how a quarterback who is less athletic, albeit a better passer than Justin Fields, is going to be better when the offensive line is still the exact same virtually to what it was last year and hasn't really been fixed. The reason I'm asking this question is because it don't matter how many damn weapons you have. If you don't have an offensive line to protect you and keep your quarterback upright, you're going to be in trouble. And again, let's just keep this in perspective. The offensive line that freaking Caleb Williams had at USC, again, if you go to PFF, their pass block rating or grade was considered like in the top 10 or 15% out of the entire NCAA. That's not the case for the freaking NFL blocking rating of the Bears last year. Because last year, I think, again, the Bears had the 19th offensive line ranking, according to PFF. That is a drastic difference in terms of talent. I know that it's college versus the NFL, but Caleb Williams' offensive line, he has been used to that versus what he's going to get with the Bears. Oh, and let's just keep going down this little rabbit hole of the offensive line here. For Bears fans that think that DeAndre Swift is going to be something, as a Lions fan that watched him for 3 years, let me just address how bad of a signing this is really going to be for you guys. When DeAndre Swift was in Detroit, behind a top 3 offensive line, he was outperformed by Jamal Williams. We just saw what Jamal Williams did with the New Orleans Saints last year. Just think about that. Our offensive line made Jamal Williams look so damn good that when he went to the New Orleans Saints and got a new contract, he couldn't get a touchdown until the very last damn play of the season. Think about that one. And then think about the fact that in the entire time that DeAndre Swift was here in Detroit, he couldn't get more than 620 yards rushing on the ground. He then goes to Philly for 1 year, and as the starting running back there with no competition, he gets a 1,000-yard season. So, okay, fine, he gets that. But let's, again, keep some things in perspective here. 1, DeAndre Swift is a literal walking China doll. The guy literally cannot stay healthy for very long. He's always dinged up. He's always injured with something. The fact that he was able to stay healthy for the majority of the season with the Eagles, that's an anomaly. That's not the standard for him. Number 2, again, like I just said, the Bears' offensive line is nowhere even close to the talent or the ability of the Lions or the Eagles last year. Again, the Bears' offensive line was ranked 19th according to PFF. The Lions and Eagles ranked number 1 and number 2. So let's think about this. The last guy that the Bears had that was a 1,000-yard rusher is our current running back right now, which is David Montgomery, who this year got 1,000 yards rushing in less games than when he did with the Bears, less rushing attempts, and had a better rushing average and had more rushing touchdowns than when he did with the Bears. But yet somehow you think that DeAndre Swift, who is a walking China doll, and the only reason he got 1,000 yards was because he was the starting back behind one of the best offensive lines in football last year, is somehow going to be able to crack another 1,000 yards off behind your offensive line, which was below average in the rankings last year. And yet you didn't do anything to improve your offensive line in the draft or free agency, really. So please explain to me how that logic makes any damn sense, because I'm truly trying to think of this. But then again, I shouldn't expect that out of Bears fans because, like I said, only a half a serving of sense versus 2 servings of vanity. Oh, and let's just consider the difference in experience and talent to our offense versus your offense. Jared Goff is easily a top 10 quarterback, and I would say just outside of the top 5 because let's think about this. For the last 2 straight years, he has gotten in top 10 stats. Actually, sometimes top 5 stats. Oh, that's right. He got the Lions to a conference championship game. The second time he's been to a conference championship game, and he's been to a Super Bowl. What was Caleb Williams' bowl record? What was his playoff record when he was in college? I can tell you this right now, it wasn't that good. I can tell you this right now, he never won the championship game when he was in college. Never even got to the championship game when he was in college. So that's a vast difference right there. Oh, on top of that, Jared Goff in our offense, we have 2 top 15 running backs. We have a top 3 tight end. We have a top 10 wide receiver. Behind also with the best offensive line in the NFL, with the best offensive coordinator in the NFL, with Ben Johnson. And all of our guys on the offense, save one, which is Kevin Zeitler, are going into their second year at least together. Some of them are going into year 4 together. Let's see here. You guys have a rookie quarterback. You guys have a rookie wide receiver. You just got a new wide receiver via trade, so you have no experience together on that front either. You have a brand new running back in terms of DeAndre Swift. You have a brand new offensive coordinator. So everything about your offense is virtually damn spanking brand new. So tell me how a team that last year, in terms of both points scored, in terms of both yards produced, as far as a mid-ranked level offense overall, is going to somehow outdo an offense that for the last 2 years running has been a top 5 offense. Tell me how that's going to happen. Because, again, I'm genuinely trying to figure out where you guys are getting this smugness from, this arrogance from, that somehow just because you got Caleb Williams and Romeo Donze, that's somehow going to catapult you into the top, echelon of football teams. I'm genuinely trying to figure this out. Because, let me think about this. When was the last time that there was a Bears quarterback that passed for 4,000 yards? Oh, that's right. Never. How about a 30 passing touchdown season from a Bears quarterback? Oh, so close. But again, never. When was the last time the Lions did that? Oh, that's right. That was last year. I'll show you my quarterback stats. My quarterback stats was, that's right, top 10 stats. Jared Goff literally was second in the league when it came to passing touchdowns. Second in the league when it came to passing yards. Top 10 when it came to passing touchdowns. Top 10 when it came to passing completion percentage. I mean, come on now, folks. Do I really need to go on anymore about that? And before you Bears fans try and say, well, Dan Campbell has been your coach and you guys only have a 3-3 record against us, so there's not that much difference in talent in our teams. We're actually closer than what you think. Really? Let's think about this. The widest margin of victory that the Bears have had against the Lions since Dan Campbell has been the coach was a mere 15 points. Yeah, that is a 2-touchdown spread, don't get me wrong. But the reason why I say it's only a mere 15 points is because the Lions, on the other hand, our widest margin of victory against the Bears was 31 points. Lest I remind you, Bears fans, of the literal ass spanking the Lions gave you at the end of 2022 at Ford Field when we trounced you 41-10. When Hutch and James Houston literally made Justin Fields' life at Ford Field, save for one long rushing play, a very literal living hell. And let's not forget how you guys snatched defeat from the jaws of victory in that 31-26 loss against us this year. Because I'm going to admit this, you guys should have won that game. But I'm going to just show this. That's the Bears doing Bears things. Because, that's right. How did Dan Campbell get his first road victory as an NFL head coach? That came against the Bears too. Simply put, Bears fans, I'm just going to tell you this. You have every right to be happy about the fact you got Caleb Williams, you got Romeo Donze. You guys got some really good pieces in the draft. I'll give you that much. But dude, sit your ass down and shut the hell up. The grown-ups are talking. The Lions who won the division, the Lions who are considered a top 3 team in the NFL, the Lions who are considered Super Bowl contenders. We're talking with the grown-ups. We're talking with the big boys. You guys are restricted to the kiddie table until you can show up and get out of the damn basement, which is where you currently are. Until that time, I just want to say this to all you Bears fans. Shush. But anyway, I figured I was going to end that right there. So having said that, I just want to say thank you all for watching yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage all to watch the next episode. Also encourage all to do one of these 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe. If by chance you subscribed in the past and forgot to do so at the time, I also want to encourage y'all, please, to do one of this. I want you guys to do this as well. If you subscribed in the past, forgot to do so, if you just subscribed and not had a chance to do so, please subscribe. It really helps me out. But I also want to encourage y'all to make sure you hit that bell notification icon that's right next to the subscription button, so that way you guys never miss any more content that I push out. Also encourage y'all please to share this content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you can with everybody and anybody that you can. The more we can share it, the greater the channel grows and the greater the channel spreads. And with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this content. I hope you all have a blessed day. I hope you all have something in your life that makes you happy and makes you smile. And with that being said, God bless. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.